Well, hello everybody. This is Declutter Me. You're on with your host, Shelina. Hello.
Hello.
We come to you every week. We talk about decluttering, organizing, digital life, physical life, space around you, the clutter cloud over you, all of it. I mean, sometimes I can introduce you ahead of time. I don't have to wait until I finish the whole thing before I
It was
introduce you.
the kind of breaks that you're making in the introduction, which was really weird. What are you doing?
And that's why you repeated it?
It's so weird. Like, what's going on? Is this a new thing? Are you going to do this all your podcasts?
No, of course not.
Just mine.
Just this one specifically, this episode.
So weird.
What are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about my bathroom. Okay, is that so? I sounded really loud then. Was that really loud just now?
I mean, it's going to take a very special audience to understand the real excitement that you have currently.
Well, if they follow me on Instagram, they'll know the pain because I've been talking about it in my diaries, which I've actually taken a break from doing since the bathroom renovation. But yeah.
Okay, so the bottom line is bathroom got renovated.
My bathroom got
I
renovated.
want to talk about that.
Yes.
Kind of the steps and kind of if this is something you're looking at, something renovation related.
Yes.
Then how do you go about it?
So think very hard about it and remember there's going to be a lot of dust. I cannot emphasize how much dust there is and how much dust there still will be everywhere once this is done.
I feel like the real thing we should be talking about is the disruption it causes, but okay.
Oh my God, it's so painful. And I tell you, and it sounds like, and I keep on thinking about this, that it sounds like I'm being privileged, that I've gone through anxiety, I've gone through stress. You've seen me be a bit teary about because I had to move apartments because I live in a one bedroom and I was doing my master bathroom. There was no other shower. So I used my friend's apartment. So I had to take my cats to my friend's apartment and the stress of that. So I was like kind of moving out of my house for 2 weeks, then having all this done and having to go back and forth between two houses. It's just, and it was all for my own well-being in the end. It's for my shower and for my bathroom. But so I sound that I'm like a privileged, spoiled girl or lady, but my God, it was painful.
I have no idea who this is. It's fine. It's probably the car delivery. Keep going, actually. The recording isn't interrupted.
Okay. So, and my God, it's been painful. So let's start from the beginning. So for me, I did this planning, designing all myself. A lot of people are sensible and get somebody to help them. So they get a designer in, they get a contractor in. I got a contractor from a friend, so I'd recommended 2 contractors, and this one worked out the best from price-wise and also from review-wise. So I chose him. Now, we were supposed to do, so I talked to him in April, and we were supposed to start in May, and then he decided to take another job, so we didn't do it until August. So so it was good. I had all this time to buy all the bits. But yeah, it's, so I had an idea. So, I always tease and joke about Pinterest and that, people shouldn't look at Pinterest about all the organizing pictures and expect everything to look like Pinterest. But I have been fantasizing about my own bathroom for years. I think since Pinterest started, because I've got a board called Water Heaven, which has just pictures of bathrooms that I've been fantasizing about. So between me and my mother, who's been fantasizing as well, we came up with the design of my bathroom and what we were going to have and what the colors were going to be. And then I went out and bought everything. And foolish me, didn't buy just from one store. I bought from several stores. Right. So that's been painful, but it was worth it because I saved money. Because I am, at the end of the day, one of those who likes saving money. But yeah, so from that kind of point of, like planning and everything, see what the options are, see what your taste is, see what's out there, but also make it, you don't want to make it something that's so in fashion now because, it goes out of fashion and you really don't want to go through the ordeal of renovating again too soon, So if you're doing a kitchen, you're doing your bathroom, wherever you're doing, you don't want to do it very often, right? And it costs a lot of money as well. Sure. It's not a cheap endeavor. So make it something that you will enjoy for a long time. So that's what I did as well. I went on Facebook groups. We've got a lot of interior design Facebook groups here. There's about 3 that I like being on. And I asked the questions about where to go to buy stuff. I also asked my contractor, but he chose all the expensive places on Shakeside Road,
Right.
which were ridiculous. So think about your budget, and think about what you want, and then think about the time frame, and think about doing it at the right time. Doing it in August is a bit of a crazy idea for the contractors because summertime, it's hot here. They couldn't have the aircon on when they were taking everything off the walls and taking all the pieces out. So it would be better if it was in winter. And I think it's the reverse in the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
They'll want it in the summer and not in the winter.
That's when all the renovation gets done, yeah.
So that's the start. That's the buy. So buying all the stuff, I found out that was from a client who had gone for renovations for their villa. They told me about a building materials mall that's just near Dragon Mart.
Oh.
So I bought, and it's like an outlet mall for all the big design stuff. So Banyo Design, Rack, Ceramics, and all these other places.
Yeah.
They're there, and it's like at outlet prices. So a lot of the accessories and my shower unit were from this mall at a much less price than it would be in the main shops.
Yeah.
So find that if you have the time, if you have. If you're able to go to these places, find the outlet malls because they have the same stuff that they have in the main stores, but at like a fraction of the price.
Yep.
Yeah. So you save money on that one. And the next thing to do is when you're planning and you're doing, planning for the renovation and even getting ready for when the renovation is about to start, you have to start taking the things out of the room, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I had to take things out of the bathroom. So I went through everything and I removed a lot of stuff. So I decluttered a lot of old toiletries that I didn't use. I gave, ones that hadn't expired, I gave them to friends. I gave them to my maid. Makeup as well. I gave a lot of stuff. So there was lots of bits and pieces. I'd bought so many hairbands, like thick hairbands for my hair. I've got so many. I've got about 300 because I bought them over the years from like the UK and the US. Don't need that many. I don't go through that many hairbands. They don't break that often. So I had to get rid of them as well. So I got rid of a lot of things. So do that. And then what I did is when I took the stuff out of the bathroom, I categorized it into things that would be essential and things that were not so essential. So when I would be putting them back into the bathroom later, it would be easier for me to put them into the bathroom. And I also took the things that I was going to be needing for the next few weeks. I put them in different toiletry bags to put in a suitcase. So do that. So even if you're not moving out of your house, it will be kind of like you're staying.
Yeah, it's disruptive nonetheless. Yeah,
it is. So if you've not got your master bathroom, you'll need to put your stuff in another bathroom. So it's sort of like you're on holiday. You have to have a toiletries bag with all your major stuff. And with the kitchen, you have to see if you can fit your kitchen stuff into another room or into your living room. So things like that. So you always have to think about the disruption in that. So a lot of people, like when my mum and dad have done their kitchen recently, they had to get a hot plate and then cook. They were cooking in the garden for a while because they couldn't cook in the kitchen.
Right.
So, and I know friends of ours have done, she was cooking in the living room when she was getting her kitchen done as well. So, think about things like that as well. You have to prepare in another way to be living in your house because you can't live in it properly. So that's that's the thing when that happens. So then the renovations happen. It's as painful as it can be. There's dust everywhere. Did I mention the dust?
Not yet.
There's dust everywhere. It's crazy. The aircon guys came the day after this finished and decided for some reason to clean my aircon. They took out the thing and it was full of dust.
Oh my God, yeah, it would have really seeped into the vents.
Yeah, and I was like, I just cleaned the house. I was like, couldn't you just wait a few days for me to just have a clean house for once? But no. But anyway, so bear in mind that even if you get things covered up, it will still be full of
No, you still have
dust
to do a clean
everywhere.
up. Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Then, so I got my bathroom down. I love it. I got these cupboards. I got less cupboards than before. It's a bit more minimalistic, which we're going to show in a separate video, right? So we're going to showcase it to everybody because I love it so much. But the irony is, considering how fast I go through organizing people's houses and organizing their bathrooms, I can organize a bathroom full of things in an hour. It took me about 3 hours to do my own bathroom, and I was just sitting on the floor with stuff around me, all categorized. Everything had been done
But you were
properly.
also, I think, rethinking a lot of how you wanted to use it, right? Because it was completely different from what it was before.
Yeah, completely different. And I was sending a message to my best friend at home because she's doing her bathroom right now. She was like, "How's it going?" And I went, I can't put my stuff. I don't know what I'm doing. And she was like, "You're just being pedantic. You're just overthinking it." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know I am." And it's because this is my job.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make it perfect for me because this was the first time that I was doing my, renovating my own bathroom. This was mine. So another thing as well is while sitting on my floor with all my bathroom, my toiletries and everything and medicine and stuff, I got rid of still a lot of things. So I had a massive trash bag of things that I ended up getting rid of, mostly in recycle. So there'd been drawers that I'd been using for years for my makeup. I got rid of them, and I've made a drawer just for my makeup now in my bathroom. So I was going to put it in the glass cabinet on top of my sink, but it actually, they're so narrow, it doesn't work. And you need to get the right then stands for the makeup and stuff, whereas putting it in a drawer and opening the drawer and taking stuff out is much easier for me. And I don't have that much makeup. But weirdly, I just got given a bit of makeup a few days ago, and then trying to figure out where to put it in my finely tuned, organized new makeup drawer was a bit of a pain. So I actually can't buy any more makeup because it's so perfectly organized as it is right now. But yeah, so I got rid of a lot of things. So even though if you do the declutter at the beginning before the renovation, you will find that you'll still get rid of more things because you have to fit it into your new space, because you most probably will have less space than before. Maybe you'll have more, especially if you build a really great kitchen. But for me, I made sure I had less cupboard space because it had taken up too much room. And, take it easy. Like, you don't have to buy everything all in one go. You can put things away, and then you can rejig things around and find what works for you, which is what I've been doing in the last week. So what I put, say, a tissue box in one place, I've now put it somewhere else. I've moved things around, and it's still going to be moved around, so we're going to show you what it looks like now, but I'm sure in a short while it'll change again, because you have to live in your space. So even when you use an organizer and they organize your space for you, like it happens for me, I organize people's wardrobes and kitchens and bathrooms. I always say to them, get used to the systems, but get used to living in it. You have to be able to live in your space and enjoy your space. If you don't enjoy that particular system, change it. Move things around.
It's also the argument you've always had about the Pinterest stuff is like the lack of tissue boxes, for example, right? Like it's something that might look pretty to not have something in a certain place, but the fact is if your utility of it requires it to be there, then you might as well get the system to work for you, right?
Exactly.
As opposed to, so a tissue box is a great example of, if you don't have tissue boxes in your living room, like it's always going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get up and walk like halfway across the house to pick up tissues. So having them in the living room makes sense.
Yeah.
And so it may not look pretty sometimes, or it may disturb the picture that you have in your head, but it's important for the system to work.
You know what? And I have another great example for this, and is that I bought shelves to put into the bathroom to put my pajamas and my loungewear. So I wear them for like a few days, and I'd wear them and then leave them in the bathroom to put on again, when I come home. And I wasn't going to have any space for them in my new place, right? And so I bought shelves. But when we looked at the shelves and looked at my bathroom, we couldn't figure out where to put the shelves to make it look aesthetically pleasing. So we gave up on the shelves.
Right.
In all the organizing and doing everything, I now have space in my drawer, in my bathroom, actually next to the tissue box, to put these 2 lots of items. So I have that space, and it's not a normal thing to do, but it's my thing that I needed this space for these 2 items of clothing, and I've got that. So yeah, it's like, it's not going to look pretty, but it's incredibly functional for me. And I need a tissue every morning when I'm doing my makeup, because I end up sneezing and then getting black eye because with my mascara and eyeliner. Every time I put it on, I end up trying to sneeze. So I have to grab a tissue and do my nose before I sneeze. Toilet roll is pain to get out. So I have to have a tissue. So you can grab a
It's
tissue,
not
right?
practical. Yeah.
So it's like the few seconds rule again, like less than 5 seconds, making it functional, making it less painful for yourself. And that's what I've done for myself. So you do that as well for yourself, or whether it's your kitchen or your bathroom. It might be organized, whether you organize yourself or you get an organizer to come in, but then think about your practicalities, what works for you and what works for your family on a functional basis. You can do the Pinterest pictures first and remove everything that doesn't look nice, and then put the functional stuff afterwards if you must.
Yeah, and I think if you're renovating, especially if you have an opportunity to renovate, if it's your house or as you've done here, that's a good time to think about it, right? Because it allows you to be like, maybe something was bothering you about the layout as it was for you, and that was one of the reasons why you wanted to rejig your bathroom a little bit. Then that's the time to say, okay, let me just think about what I use and how can I make it available to me by reorganizing it or making it better. I mean, it could be anything. I mean, in your case, for example, having a tub that you never used was just whatever real estate space you were taking away,
and it was awful. It was so ugly,
right? And so it was you looked at it from a practical standpoint to say, well, I never use this. Let me free up space so I can enjoy more space in the bathroom and feeling that it's not overcrowded. So that, those are kind of considerations to make when you're thinking about it.
For sure. So hopefully people find it helpful from like what I went through, and they joke about having lots of tea available for the contractors because it's a British thing. Yeah. But, my contractors were from Sri Lanka, and they went through a box and a half of Yorkshire tea, and I bought a big box. So
nice. Okay.
They didn't take the milk though. They don't drink milk, the tea with milk, but they went through a lot of sugar as well. So, so always stock up. Yeah. Whatever you think they need, get more tea.
Fair enough. So, okay, so those are the tips. I mean, if you're thinking about renovation, and if you've done some renovations, I think it'd be lovely if you share that with us. We'd love to see. If you look at the video version of this show, then you'll see some of the stills of Shelina's bathroom as well. And we'd love to see yours. So until next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.